Thomas Friedman, man who noted Islamophobe, who believes there's, I mean, he wasn't War of Civilizations guy, but effectively was a massive cheerleader for the war in Iraq, really thinks that Arab Americans and Muslims are backwards, somehow still gets to write in the New York Times, the most mealy-mouthed centrist idiot to ever write. And he now has this new essay about how basically Israel's making itself a pariah, and that's sad. He doesn't talk about genocide. He's like, let's just leave that to the scholars. But like, Israel, think of you. Yes, there's, a man-made famine and genocide, and Nasser Hospital just got bombed, double tapped, where rescue workers then were murdered while they were trying to rescue people at an effing hospital, killing, however many journalists, on top of healthcare workers and everything. And you're just like, here's my thing. I really feel a way when we're told to welcome ghouls into the, Israel is doing bad movement, because I do feel like some of the ghouls, like Thomas Friedman, are only doing so at this very late date, and not just late when it comes to October 7th, but late when it comes to the broader occupation of Palestine and the natural conclusion of everything that Israel had been doing, all the ways it had been undermining honest progress, if there ever was honest progress to peace at any moment in history. It all led to this very moment. And so for me, I'm like, Thomas Friedman can sit the F down. Like, you can sit this one out forever. And if Thomas Friedman or other people who should know better want to speak up, I also need to hear you say, I should have known better. I am sorry. I misled people. I've turned a blind eye to this, right? Like, I need to hear so many other things. I think it's fine to come to the realization that this is genocide or speak out against Israel because you are just someone who doesn't know very much about the issue. And now you're learning. This is someone who has studied the Middle East, who purports himself to be an expert in the Middle East, right? And there's so many other people who purport themselves to be liberal, purport themselves to be, progressive, believe in human rights, who could easily pick up a book, who could read an article, and who still to this day, and I literally have like names in my head, who have not come to me after chiding me for speaking out about what we all knew. I'm sorry, Peter, but we all knew on October 8th, I posted, I can't believe it took this amount of, attack, death and destruction for people to wake up to what is happening in Gaza, to people to wake up, right? And I was chided for it. I lost friends over this. These motherfuckers are silent still. And so I'm just like, I don't know. I feel a way. I know I should embrace everybody, but I feel a big way about people who should have known better. And the first things out of their mouth need to be, I was wrong. I was wrong. I misled people. I browbeat people, but now I understand what's actually been going on.
I'm also conflicted about this. I'm of two minds, because on the one hand, in this moment of fascist authoritarianism, in this moment where you have war crimes, crimes against humanity out the wazoo, not just in Gaza, but in a number of places around the world, I'm a big believer in the big tent, in welcoming people when they say, I've changed my mind. Now I've seen the light. But you're right. I mean, I think there needs to be some accountability. There absolutely must. There must be someone leading with, as you said, I was wrong. But on that note, one thing we were discussing before the show, I do feel like the dam is breaking. And what I referenced was a pretty viral clip of Jennifer Welch over at the I've Had It podcast. And for those of you who aren't familiar, she's a former Bravo star. A few years back, she launched a podcast with her friend. They're very sort of stereotypical Southern white ladies. I joke that she's kind of a Trojan Karen, because she actually has some pretty spicy progressive takes for someone who is so Republican coded. And she last week just delivered this barn burner of a fire tribe, of a diatribe, where I
like fire tribe,
where she called out what is going on in Gaza and Netanyahu and AIPAC and all of the above. And the reason why I raise this and the reason why I say that I think the dam is breaking is that previously you had folks like Ms. Welch, who I have a great deal of affection for, who aren't international affairs experts. They're not
Right.
the Tom Friedmans of the world. And they're not Zionists, and they're not racist against the Palestinian people, but they just didn't feel comfortable weighing in because they didn't have sort of the historical literacy or the expertise in international affairs to feel comfortable weighing in. Now you're seeing all of them say, F that. This is so awful, so evil, so depraved. I don't care that I didn't get a master's degree at the Kennedy School. I can weigh in on this. I can tell people that this is fucking wrong.
Yeah, I have eyes and I see. So that's the thing is if you don't think you were informed, a year ago, you've got the last year. So you have been around for the last year. And I think it's great. I mean, I think the dam is breaking for people who don't have to prop up the idea that the state of Israel is a great place and yay Zionism. So I think for people who are less invested in it, sadly, the people who are not in democratic leadership, who are deeply invested in it, that's where the dam is breaking. And so it's nice to hear. And I actually think the reason that she's able to go off like that is because there's so much clarity when you kind of come to an issue, especially like Israel-Palestine, sort of newly. There's a clarity. I think I mean the people who were, doing that scolding and who really should have known better and by now should know better, and were either trying to save their asses. Because for me, I see Thomas Friedman going I don't know, this looks bad. I should probably just write an op-ed in defense of Israel, an op-ed that's guys, it's not good for you, But once the Trump Riviera is all said and done, it's there's some people who will still be can I just not say anything and still get work and you'll love me and pretend I never, I didn't do all the things that I did and I didn't say you were Hamas.
What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/Bitchuation Room. Do it.